Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I figured I would share with you guys things that trigger LEGO Harry Potter fans. I honestly consider myself as a huge LEGO Harry Potter fan, so I sat down and gathered a couple things that trigger me as a fan of the LEGO Harry Potter franchise. Without further ado, let's get started. First up, the very first thing we'll discuss is the lack of Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff representation in LEGO Harry Potter sets. I myself am a proud Slytherin, however I feel really bad for my Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff friends and fans of the channel because honestly, there isn't really much going on for you guys in terms of the LEGO Harry Potter sets and Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw pride. We honestly need to get more characters and torsos, including background characters, included in sets. Honestly, I kind of got sick of seeing Cedric Diggory for Hufflepuff and Cho Chang for Ravenclaw, and of course Luna Lovegood, but you know, let's just focus on the Cho Chang minifigure, which I think looks very bad. An example of getting background characters, for example for Hufflepuff, would be getting Ernie Macmillan, Zacharias Smith, and an older version of Susan Bones. We can maybe even get Fat Friar, which is the Hufflepuff ghost, and for Ravenclaw, the Grey Lady, and of course the Bloody Baron for Slytherin. We're missing all of the Hogwarts ghosts except for, of course, Nearly Headless Nick. And as for Ravenclaw, getting Padma in her Ravenclaw uniform, Penelope Clearwater, of course, in her Ravenclaw uniform as well, Roger Davies, and Michael Corner in LEGO form would be really cool. I noticed how Professor Sinistra barely made an appearance in the Harry Potter movies, however LEGO still included her in the Chamber of Secrets set, which was very nice to see and gives me a glimmer of hope that potentially in the future we can get background characters in LEGO Harry Potter sets, specifically from the Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff houses. An idea that I had that would enable us to get some more characters from the Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff houses was getting a little Hogshead in diorama based on the Order of the Phoenix, when of course Harry was there trying to build up Dumbledore's army. In that scene, the characters wore jackets and winter clothing, but I guess you can try and sneak in some random Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff torsos in there, or maybe we can just get the characters in their natural form in winter outfits. That would be really cool in my opinion. Point is, I really want to see more Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw representation in LEGO sets, not just the Moment sets, and not just Cedric Diggory, Cho Chang, and Luna Lovegood. And that one time that we got Susan Bones from 2018, and of course that other time where we got Justin from 2021, of course featuring the one, the only reused headpiece, which brings us to the next point in this video. The second thing that triggers me as a LEGO Harry Potter fan, in recent years specifically, is the fact that we're getting a ton of reused headpieces for very important characters outside of the CMF line. For example, we got that reused headpiece for Lucius Malfoy, which makes him look quite horrendous, along with that shocking blonde hair, which doesn't really suit the whole Lucius Malfoy and Malfoy vibe in my opinion. And of course Bellatrix Lestrange featuring Mantis's face. Isn't that fantastic? And lastly, triplets from Harry Potter that we've never heard of, featuring Luna Lovegood, Ginny Weasley, and Justin Finch-Fletchley. I mean, I guess they're all Weasleys, because they all have the same face, with of course Justin featuring the more male features without the eyelashes, but in general they all look very similar. One might suggest that they are indeed triplets. The third thing that triggers me as a LEGO Harry Potter fan is the lack of attention to detail, such as dress printing. The CMF line does an incredible job capturing all of the printing and detail on minifigures, which I guess makes sense because each figure comes at a specific price. I think that the sets themselves are lacking a lot of detail when it comes to minifigure designs because, as you guys can see here, spot the difference. Bellatrix and Molly Weasley have one thing in common. They both don't have dress printing. And it shows a lack of continuity between the torso and the dress, which kind of adds a little weird, awkward feel to both of these minifigures, and I really want to see this improve in the future. Because I don't see us getting a Molly Weasley minifigure in the CMF line, and by all means we did get Bellatrix in her Azkaban outfit in the CMF line, and she looks awesome there. But I would really love to see dress printing and more attention to detail in general for characters inside of LEGO Harry Potter sets because, you know, minifigures are very much relevant and add so much more to LEGO sets. The fourth thing that triggers me as a LEGO Harry Potter fan is repetitive minifigures. I can't tell you how many times I, sighed when I saw another Harry, Ron, and Hermione in another Lego Harry Potter set. My collection consists of a lot of Harry Potter sets, which means naturally I have armies of Hermione, Harry, and Ronald Weasley. I'm not really proud of them, honestly. I'm just getting bored of the repetitive minifigures, but I guess it is what it is because they are indeed the main characters, unfortunately, and we can't really escape that. The fifth thing that triggers me as a Lego Harry Potter fan is lack of Lego Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 Lego sets. I'm really sad that we're not going to be getting sets from the Deathly Hallows because honestly I really enjoyed those movies and the book, of course. I read the books before the movies, but I really enjoyed them as a whole, and seeing that we're not going to be getting sets from a wave that I was so excited to potentially see in Lego form saddens me quite a bit. The designer hinted to this in an interview. Hopefully we're misunderstanding what he's trying to say, but it seems like we're not going to be getting Deathly Hallows sets anytime soon. Except for little teasers and sets thrown around here and there, but it is what it is, I suppose. But it still makes me sad, and I guess triggers me. The sixth thing that triggers me as a Lego Harry Potter fan is expecting some sets to look very bad, but then they end up turning out kind of good, but overpriced. And I'm sure we all know who I'm talking about here. It's the Hogwarts Icons Collector's Edition set, which I think looks kind of cool, but it's kind of overpriced for what it is. And it kind of makes me sad that it isn't Gringotts Bank or Malfoy Manor. The seventh thing that triggers me as a Lego Harry Potter fan is the fact that we didn't get Gringotts Bank yet to go with Diagon Alley. I mean, obviously it's missing from Diagon Alley and it's not there, and it doesn't make sense that it's not there because Gringotts Bank is literally a main highlight of Diagon Alley, but I guess Lego kind of took it out of there because they were like, you know what, it's gonna cost too much with it, probably $600 or so, an extra $100 for it, so maybe they'll make it as an extension along with Nocturne Alley. But honestly, Diagon Alley has been out for an entire year, and seeing that the extension, I guess the potentially rumored extension of getting Gringotts Bank wasn't exactly true for this year, I'm really hoping that we'll get it next year or the year after that, or we'll get it eventually, because if we won't, I'll be very sad and more so triggered because Gringotts Bank is probably one of the coolest buildings in Harry Potter other than Malfoy Manor. The eighth and final thing that triggers me as a Lego Harry Potter fan is not getting any sets based on the books. Before you guys come at me at the comments, I am well aware that there is a deal and contract between Lego and Warner Brothers that they will only be making sets based on the movies, which means that we won't be getting any common rooms for Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff and the Hogwarts kitchens and Winky and so much more because, the movies kind of got rid of characters and scenes that are actually kind of important, so I guess we're going to be missing out in that sense. I guess it's up to us to make mocks and stuff like that, which I guess is fun and all, but it would have been nice to see some official representation of the books in Lego form. Well guys, that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys did go on to enjoy it. I really had fun making this one. Let me know in the comments down below which things trigger you in the Lego Harry Potter franchise. I'd love to hear your thoughts and whether or not you agree with my little list here. And on that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.